Hello everyone, welcome to today's workout video. We're still battling a worldwide pandemic, but it appears Abuja and Lagos are partially reopened. We need some good news in these times. We at the circus probably won't be reopening for some time yet, so I still have time to make these workout videos. Today's video, based on your feedback, is mostly about stretching. Stretching is as much a part of good fitness as jogging, hiking, cardio, weights, or any other kind of exercise. However, apart from people who do dance, gymnastics, yoga, and circus, I find that the average person who engages in exercise doesn't practice a lot of good stretching. Perhaps because it's mostly static, they think it's not important, or they're just not aware of how useful stretching is. There's different kinds of stretching, but I like to group them into two main categories: stretching to improve flexibility and stretching to remove tension in the muscles. Today, we're going to focus on the second one. Specifically, we're going to focus on stretching to reduce tension in the legs and lower back. If you wanted a more active video, I would suggest you go back and check out one of the previous videos we've posted on planks, abdominals, core strength, and headstands. Alright, let's get to it. We'll start with the stretch that relaxes the back of the thigh. We've actually done this stretch before in our first workout video, but I will repeat it because it's relevant to what we're doing today. You place one leg in front of the other, feet pointing in the same direction, both legs straight, and lean your body forward. You can either brace your hands on your front leg or drop them straight down to the floor. You should feel a stretch behind the thigh of your front leg. Breathe deeply in and out during the stretch, and indeed during each of the stretches we do today. You can hold this stretch for 30 to 45 seconds, and then switch which leg is in front and repeat. You can also vary the distance between your legs and see how that alters the stretch. Next, you're going to sit down on the ground, extend one leg in front, and bend the other one beside you with your foot pointing backwards. Then you'll lean forwards, trying to extend your back in this direction. Slowly, as your back and thigh begin to loosen and stretch, you should be able to grab your ankle and pull yourself forward gently to increase your stretch. Normally, this stretches the back of your thigh, but it could also stretch your back. It depends on where you have more tension. Remember to breathe deeply, hold this stretch for between 30 and 90 seconds, and then switch legs. If you find this stretch difficult or uncomfortable because you have a problem with your knee, here's a different variation of the same stretch where you bend your leg forwards instead of backwards. I usually like to stretch with some relaxing music in the background, especially since the goal of this kind of stretching is to reduce tension in the muscles. You might prefer silence. I would recommend whatever helps you to concentrate on your stretching and breathing. Next, we're going to stretch the front of the thigh. For this, you can sit down, bend one knee with your foot pointing backwards, much the same as the previous stretch we did. This time, you'll be leaning back and you should feel a stretch on the front of your thigh. You can rest on your elbows, and if you want more of a stretch, you can lie all the way down. Stay here for 30 to 60 seconds while breathing deeply, then switch legs. If this is uncomfortable for your knees, you can do a variation on this where you lie on your stomach, bend one leg, grab onto your foot, and pull it as close to your hip as possible. You should feel a stretch on the front of your thigh. Next, we're going to stretch the back of the thigh again, but in a different spot. To do this, you lie on your back, bend your left knee, placing your foot on the floor, cross your right leg and place your right foot on your left knee, then pass your right hand into the space between your two legs and use both hands to clasp your left leg. pull towards you, and you should feel a stretch at the back of your right thigh. Hold this stretch for 1 to 2 minutes. I find it very relaxing, so you can do it longer. Then switch legs. Great, now we're going to move on to back stretches. We'll start with a very simple one where you kneel, sit on your heels, and fold your upper body over your thighs and breathe deeply. You're not pushing or pulling anything, you're simply letting gravity stretch you. Hold this for about a minute. I've heard a lot of people, both in the classes I teach and just people I know, complain about pain in their lower back. I'm not a doctor, so if you have chronic pain, I would advise you to see a doctor. However, if it's not very intense pain, maybe pain because you've been sitting at a desk or in a car too long, and now there's pressure in your back, this is a good way to relieve the pressure. Next, we're going to do a pike stretch forward. We've done these a few times in previous videos, but they're relevant for today's topic, so we'll do them again. Sit with your legs straight in front of you and lean your upper body forward. Try to extend your back in this direction, breathing deeply and placing your chest on your thighs. Since the goal is to stretch your back, don't lower your head. Instead, keep facing forward. If you can grab onto your ankles, that's fine. Otherwise, grab whatever part of your legs you can reach and pull yourself forward even more. Hold this for between 1 and 2 minutes. Next, lie down on a padded surface like a yoga mat or a carpet. Tuck your knees to your chest and wrap your arms around your legs. This is my favorite stretch. I can do this for 3, 4, 5 minutes. It feels great on my spine when I do this stretch. I'm not pulling my legs when I wrap them with my arms, just securing my knees in position so that the weight of my legs pushes into my back. Hold this for 2 to 3 minutes. Next, lift your legs above your head. Your feet don't have to touch the floor. Just let the weight of your legs pull on your lower back and give it a good stretch. If you find it difficult or uncomfortable to breathe in position, that is perfectly normal the first few times. If you keep doing it though, it will gradually get comfortable. Next, stand up and keeping your legs straight, bend forward, cross your arms, and let your head hang limply and the weight of your head and arms give you a good stretch in your back. Breathe deeply and hold this stretch for about a minute. Our last stretch is one that is really good for those of you who have to sit in offices all day. Sitting on a chair or a stool, bend forward and either place your hands on the ground or wrap them around your legs. Breathe deeply. This stretch is not as intense as some of the previous ones we've seen, but it's very discreet and can be done at your place of work if your job requires you to sit for long periods of time. That's it for stretches. I know today's video was a bit slow-paced. It was on purpose. I thought I'd make something relatively easy today since some of the previous videos, based on your feedback, have been a bit challenging. I will put those at the end so that you can browse through them for a challenge. Next week's video will be a lot more dynamic. Please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also follow us on Instagram at Patatrak_Circus. For those of you going back to work, please take all the necessary precautions and stay safe and well. Until next time.